Welcome to the Toxic Show. My name is Joyce. I am your host, and today we're gonna be talking about murder. I know most of the time when people are murdered in the society, people don't talk about it or just is covered. People are mourning. Those who are affected is really a big deal, and sometimes we don't have the strength even to go back there and find out what happened. But we thank God because there are people who have been able to go through that, and God has brought them out powerfully. So today we are joined by one woman, very strong woman. Her name is Irene. She has been through it, but look at what God has done. There is hope for all of you who are going through murder. Maybe a family member has been murdered. Maybe your child, your husband, or somebody who is close to you has been murdered. And you wonder, how do I move on? How do I bring up the children? How do I go on from here? If that is your position, if that is the position of the family member that has gone through murder, I want you to call them, tell them to tune into Oracle Television Network, because this show is going to help somebody who is out there still mourning, still crying, still not knowing how to move forward. And so welcome on board. You're going to love this show. So welcome, Irene, to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It is a pleasure to having met you.
Yes.
Tell us about your story and what happened to you years ago.
Well, my name is Irene, and I was born and raised in Kenya. I was married to Samuel Kangede Juguna. He was the general manager of KTDA, in charge of the Human Resources Department. And it's 18 years ago.
Oh, it's 18 years ago.
Yes.
All right.
About 18 years ago, it was one perfect Sunday.
Okay.
We went to church. And then in the afternoon, we were debating, do we go out or do we stay at home?
Right.
We decided to stay at home. So we were just resting. That perfect Saturday afternoon.
Yes.
And then I decided to make dinner for my family. And as I decided to go buy cabbage from the kiosk. And as I opened the door, I was met by two gunmen.
All right.
And then they told me, can you go back?
That must have been a shock to you.
It was a shock.
What time is it?
It was around 5.
So there's still daylight?
Yeah. So I said, what is it? What have you guys come for? They asked me, is there anybody in the house? I asked them, what are you looking for? Then they said, go back. So there was one bedroom that was downstairs. They pushed me into that bedroom. Two of my kids were upstairs, but one of them was with my husband in the sitting room. So when they pushed me back, one of them told me, put a pillow on your head. So I put the pillow on my head, and I thought that they are going to shoot me. I said, please don't shoot me. I have money in that handbag, which was in that bedroom. I have money there. Please take everything that you want and go away.
But don't kill me.
Don't kill anybody. Don't kill us. So the guy was a little bit, he was anxious. I could tell that he's anxious. So he told the one who was behind, go upstairs. So I was told, if you move, you're going to die. So I was worried about my son and my husband who were sleeping on the couch. It was a Sunday. So when they went to the sitting room, my son was there. He saw them, but my husband was sleeping. So when he woke up, I think he scared them. He just shouted, said, what do you want? And immediately they shot once and then ran out.
So they came in a car, they just stormed in your house?
Yes.
Did you hear them open the gate, or did they jump, or was it, how did they just get in the kitchen?
We had somebody who was staying in the servants' quarter.
All right.
So they had gone out and they had left a small gate open.
Okay.
So that is how they managed to get in. Otherwise, we used to lock our gate.
All right.
Yes.
So now your husband has been shot?
Yes.
In front of your son?
Yes.
And I can imagine the confusion, the cry. It was just a terrible thing.
It was.
So what happened after that? He was rushed to the hospital?
I screamed, and then we had a very good relationship in that neighborhood. So my neighbors came, and we took him. They put him in the car, and we took him to the hospital. But anyway, when I still remember that drive to the hospital, because I kept saying, God,
you're the one who drove.
My neighbor.
All right.
He's not going to die. He's going to leave a testimony that you liveth. he's going to give a testimony that you are God.
Yeah.
So I kept praying. I prayed all the way to the hospital. Anyway, we managed to get him to the hospital.
Yeah.
He was taken to the ICU.
Yeah.
They did the surgery. It was very successful. So after 2 days, he was taken out of the ICU. He went to the HDU.
Where was the shot? Where was he shot?
It was the lungs. That is
okay.
one of the lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when he was taken to the HDU, he was there for about a week.
Yeah.
And then after 1 week, we took him to the general ward. He was taken to the general ward. And he was better. He was making fun, making fun of the whole thing.
Yeah.
But I still remember there's one Friday.
Yeah.
They said that they needed people to give him blood. So I got a lot of people coming to give blood.
Yeah.
But this one Friday is still very fresh in my mind. When he was still in the hospital, he told me, Irene, I need you to take off my ring. I asked him, why are you asking me to take off your ring? Yeah. He said, I need some freedom with my finger. So in a lot of pain, I said, okay, I'll try. But it was very hard to take it out. But I managed to get it out. Then he held the ring and he said, I'm giving this back to you. And what I want you to do, if I make it, we'll go back to Canada, because he had been in Canada there before. Yeah. But if I don't, go back to Canada. This is not a place for you. Yeah. So I took the ring. Yeah. And the same night, he was taken to ICU.
Why would he say this is not a place for you? Is it because he felt he's very insecure?
He felt insecure.
All right.
He felt very insecure. He felt that the kids are not secure.
Yeah.
And he was a good man. Yeah. A good man to everybody. Yeah. He had employed so people at the KTDA. He was loved. So he did not understand where that would come from.
Yeah. Do you think it was something planned, or it was just a robber coming in, or was it possibly planned, or just some coincidence and they landed in your house?
So that one I can't tell.
You can't, yeah.
Because if they were coming for him, they would have gone straight to the living room. Yeah. But I think when he shouted, I think they got nervous and they shot. Or maybe we would have negotiated with them. Yeah. Because I was ready to give the money.
Did they look like they understood the threat, like your house? They knew where to go, or they were, sometimes when you go in a new house, I may not know where to find the lounge, where is upstairs, downstairs bedroom. Did they look like they understood the logistics of the house?
I don't think so. Yeah. But I don't know, because that time I was
in a shock.
I was in a shock, and then I was in the other room. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was after that. Then after 2 weeks, that is when I got that call. Yeah. To be told that he is gone. Oh. So
that must have been devastating.
Yes.
How many kids do you have?
I had kids, 3 kids. One was 9. The other one 13. The other one 15.
Wow.
2 teenagers and one who was 9.
And you get a call, your husband has gone to be with the Lord.
Yes.
What happens from there? Because I can imagine you possibly didn't know where to begin, what to do, what to tell your children.
Yes.
Were you the one to break the news to your children?
What I did, I have a very close friend of mine called Mary. Yeah. So I called her that very, very early in the morning. Yeah. And I told her it has happened, and I told her I can't face the kids. Yeah. So I told her you'll have to go and get the kids from school. Yeah. Because they were taken to school the same morning. We didn't want to tell them. Yeah. But that night when we got the message, we really cried. We didn't want to tell them, but we really cried. Yeah. And Mary decided to take it upon herself. But one thing I want to mention, one of my daughters, the second born, was very prayerful that time. Yeah. She had fasted for 3 days, trusting God that the father would be healed.
When the father was still
in the ICU. Yeah, because they also went and saw him. Yeah. So she was trusting God for his healing. Yeah. But it didn't work. Yeah. So that was the hardest thing for her, or to tell her that it has happened. Yeah. But Mary and another lady called Lydia. Yeah. Yeah. They went and got the kids from the hospital. From the school. Yeah. And they broke the news.
Yeah.
Then I left it to them. I said, God, I can't deal with this anymore.
Yeah.
But I was seeing all darkness.
Yeah.
I was saying, God, is there hope for me?
Yeah.
Is there hope for my children? Where do I start?
So tell me about your son that saw the father being shot.
Yeah.
How did he take it?
That one thing, he was young.
Yeah.
He did not understand why
they could do that to
why
the daddy.
They could do that to their dad.
Yeah.
The daughter had the same questions, and the other one.
Yeah.
But I thank God that when they got the message, not that they understood, but they took it. And then what followed was the funeral, and we had a lot of support from people, from my friends, from people from KTDA.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, they were trying to find out who had done it.
Yeah.
And because the thugs had taken my cell phone, within the same week before the burial, there was a car. There was a car that was seen in Rogai, and it had 6 robbers. And they were caught, and they tried to shoot back, but they were all shot.
Okay.
The 7 of them, and my cell phone was recovered.
All right.
But I didn't want to get anything to do with it. So the government said that it had been done. They looked for people, the people who did the shooting, they were shot. But I really wanted to find out who had done it and why he had done it. Yeah. Because as far as I knew, Sam did not have any enemies.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, he was a good man.
Yeah.
So I hired a private investigator.
Oh, you did?
Yes, I did.
After how long? Immediately?
Immediately after the burial.
Okay.
After that, the funeral, and then I decided that you go back to Canada. So we started preparing, and we went back to Canada.
All right.
And when we went back to Canada...
So that time you're still mourning?
Yes, and I'm still mourning. Because first of all, I wanted to get... My kids were scared to go to school.
All right. Yeah.
My kids were imagining that you'd be attacked again. And my kids did not know actually what was happening. They could not relate with the details or the events that were taking place.
The guns, their father dying.
Yes.
Now they are moving again.
Yes.
It's a lot of things for a child to be able to digest. Yeah.
And at that time, I remember telling God, I know that you'll never leave me.
Yeah.
And you never forsake me. Yes, I know. I remember the word from the book of Job.
Yeah.
I told God, though you slay me, I'll still trust you.
Amen.
So I decided, from there on, I decided to put this journey, whatever I was going through, into his able care. And then I decided, we put everything together, and then I took my children and we went back to Canada. But when we went back to Canada, it was not all smooth.
What
because
happened?
I was dealing with loss. Yeah. My children were dealing with loss. Yeah. It was an environment that, the kids talk about their dads and what they're doing. So they were not able to talk about that. So they went through a lot of stress. So we mourned together.
So did you have support, people support, like family in Canada, or did you maybe have a family doctor? How did you go through it? Just with God, no one else? Or how did you make it? Because that's a very serious thing to go through.
So when I went back to Canada, the kids' school, I went and talked to the teachers. Yeah. And then we were given a government counselor. We were counseled. Yeah. But counseling is good, but nobody can tell you what to feel. Yeah. Especially if you're going through loss. But we went through counseling. The kids were counseled. But I knew that was something that was going to go for a long time. One, because we didn't have the answers. Yeah. So that was quite devastating.
I think every human being wants to get closure. And sometimes we feel like we get closure when we have the answers. But here you are, a mother of 3, in a foreign nation. Don't know why your husband was murdered. You don't know whether they are coming after you next. And I believe that was a very tough place for you. But I thank God that you're able to move on from there. And how did you close that chapter? What triggered?
What happened after 3 years
It took 3 years?
Yes.
You mourned for 3 years?
For 3 good years.
Wow.
Sometimes missing going to work.
Yeah.
I would take the kids to school.
Then you go back home?
Fortunately, I got a teaching job, so it allowed me to take the kids to school and go back home and then go to work.
Yeah.
So what I did after 3 years, I thought that it was too much for me. I had a lot of anger. I had a lot of bitterness. I had tried to share with some people, so that hoping to get some support. But they look at you, the people would look at me and think, they would start looking at me, asking so many questions.
Yeah. And you don't
was he into something bad? Was he? So I decided I'm going to keep this at the back of my mind. I'll never share.
Yeah.
So, but after the 3 years, one morning I woke up and said, God, from today I want to be happy. I don't want to mourn anymore.
Yeah.
And I want to have the strength to encourage my children, so that we get out of this. And the Lord showed me a vision. Yeah. It was a vision that had still water. And in the water, I could see some flowers on the weeds that were in the water. So I said, God, what are you trying to tell me? Why the water? I knew water stands for peace. Yeah. But why the weeds? Then the Lord reminded me that in life, when you go through very difficult times, the Lord can still give you joy.
Amen.
Even when people try to bring you down, even when there is no hope, you become that flower in the water, because the Lord would give you that joy. And I told God, I don't want this to be my source of unhappiness. Yeah. God, if that person who planned came to me today and tell me that they did it and why they did it, I would forgive them. I would tell them, I forgive you. Yeah. Because there was nothing that was going to be done to allow Sam to come back. He was already gone. Yeah. So I was ready after the 3 years to forgive the killers of my husband.
So did you feel at some point like you're avenged, or just the peace of God helped you to let it rest?
It is the peace of God. Yeah. Because from then on, that is where my healing started.
Okay.
My healing started from there, and I was more strong. I was able to encourage my kids. And somehow the peace of the Lord and the joy of the Lord came back to me.
Yes. What would you possibly tell somebody who has gone through murder and they feel, I can't get rest in my heart until there is vengeance? You know that you feel, no, just how can somebody just kill my husband, just kill my wife, kill my child? Some other people is just maybe, a drunk driver ran over your child. Crazy things happen in the society, and you're left feeling, I need vengeance. And I think that is where bitterness and unforgiveness comes in. But you're telling us that just by the peace of God, you are able to move from there to healing. So it's possible.
There is power in forgiveness.
Wow.
However difficult it is, there is power in forgiveness. And it is only God who can take out that sorrow. Not the counseling, not what people tell you, not the solutions that you think you may have. But once you forgive, the Lord takes over. And when the Lord takes over, He will encourage you. He will encourage your children. And the Lord is God. He is faithful. Even when you think you don't have what it takes now to bring up the children on your own. He's called Jehovah Jireh, the provider.
Yes, he is.
And the widows are a very, very special category in the Lord's kingdom. So once you forgive, leave it to the Lord. The Lord takes over. He will provide for you in ways that you've never even imagined.
Amen.
He will provide for those children, and they go very, very far.
Amen.
Yes, that is all powerful. I can say. There is power in forgiveness.
Wow.
Yes.
So today, when you sit and you reflect back on it,
yes,
you see the hand of God. The pain is gone. Are your children able to? Have they been able to deal with it totally? Are they in the same place with you?
Well, with time, they say with time, that you get healed.
Yeah.
Not that you are completely out of it, because even today, when we think about it, we still sometimes shed tears.
Yeah.
And I remember my daughter the other night, just the other night, the day before yesterday, she came to my bed and said, Mom, oh, I miss Dad. Now that I'm in Kenya, I miss my dad.
Yeah.
I wish he was somewhere where I could talk to him. But then he said, but it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
The Lord took him and he had other plans for us.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Wow.
We have not lacked.
Yeah.
And we are okay.
Yeah.
So it's okay.
Wow.
So then I knew she has gotten to another level.
Amen.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is powerful. And I want to believe you're listening to us from where you're watching us. And I believe this story is healing your life, or possibly you didn't know whether it's going to come to a day you're going to laugh, or it's going to come to a day you're going to move on. But I want to tell you, when you listen to the story of Irene, then you know there is hope in God. No matter what has happened to your life, no matter what people have taken away from you, because for her case, people just decided to take her husband away. There was really no reason for that to have happened to her. She finds herself as a widow with 3 children and a life to live. But because God is powerful, she's been able to move beyond that. So I want to encourage you. You're possibly facing that kind of, pain in your heart. You're possibly depressed. You don't know how to forgive. You don't know how to move on. There is hope. If you can see Irene here, it means that there is hope.
Yes.
The God who's been able to lift her from that level of feeling down, feeling alone, not knowing the next move. He's the same God who is able to do the same thing to you. So do not be discouraged. That is your message to them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do not be discouraged. The Lord will come.
Amen.
And will come in a big way.
Yeah.
Put your trust in Him.
Amen.
He will never leave you nor forsake you. Even when it is so dark, God is still faithful.
Amen.
God is able.
Amen.
And God will come through for you.
This is powerful. Do not change the channel. We are going to go on a short break, and once we come back, we're going to hear the other part of the story. How far is she now? Did she ever remarry? What has happened? How are the children doing? And how are things going on in her life? Because our God is God who is able to turn a story from that kind of mess to a message. Because today Irene is a message, and I believe that you're gonna thank God because of what God has done in her life, and He's gonna do the same thing in yours too. God bless you. Stay right there. Don't change the channel. Keep it Oracle Television Network, and God bless you. See you in a minute.